welcome to the first episode of Nerdeo TV. We're here to talk about visual effects, filmmaking, and we're here with Hasraf Dulull today. So I guess my first questions is, where did you study? What companies you work for? How did you get into visual effects?
Well, basically, I worked in video game cinematics first. So when I left uni, I went to university at City University, which is in central London, and I studied media communication. And I didn't really have the luxury of going to film school, even though I love films. And there wasn't really much like courses on computer graphics as such, unless you go to a specialized uni. Whereas today, nearly every uni teaches composite in CG. So I took sort of like the computer science route, because I'm a nerd, design and tech, and I made a video game level, and I got my first internship at a games company called Davis Studios. I was doing all the game cinematics, which meant that, I was telling stories, I was lighting environments, I was moving cameras, shot composition, all of the stuff you would see in a really good CG animated sequence. I was doing that. And I did that for like 4 or 5 years, and I realized I should really stop mimicking working in film and just go and work in film. I worked for a really cool company called Jellyfish Pictures, and I was started there as like a lead nuke compositor, and they needed a visual effects supervisor. So I stepped in. It's supposed to be just a temporary thing. Phil Dobry, who runs the company, I pretty much owes my VFX supervisor career to him, because he took the chance, because, okay, well, I'll give you a stab and you can VFX supervise some sequences. I ended up being there for several years and end up nominated for visual effects, best visual effects for a show called America, the Story of Us for the History Channel. And then we ended up doing a show called Planet Dinosaur, which I was also nominated. Yeah, it was trial and error. And my first short film was a film called Fubar, which is an animated short using Nuke 2.5D. Back then 2.5D was like, wow. Now it's like standard. And that really got really good like support, but it didn't really get me to become a filmmaker because it was animated. And then I went off and made a film called Project Kronos, which was basically, I had my laptop, I had Adobe contact me and go, listen, you should use After Effects. I'm like, After Effects?
Is that the one with Victor Perez in it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's another one that's going to be on Nerdeo TV soon.
Yeah, Victor, yeah. Awesome. And actually the story on that, it's his fault. He's like, oh, yeah, I used to be an actor. I'm like, great, get on the camera. He only came to give me some VFX support. So there you go, Victor, your fault. Project Kronos was the short film that pretty much got me to where I am with Adobe Creative Cloud. I learned how to edit in it, composite in it, and it's pretty much the same principles, just different tool set. And I had a friend that had a DSLR camera, but we used a Panasonic GH2 or 3, one of those. And I pretty much did all the comp myself. And then I got some CG guys to help me to build some CG probe. And I just made it as a way of just trying to get my story across. And it was done in a documentary format, mainly because I was working in television a lot. That short went viral, and I was getting phone calls from agents, from managers, from studios. And I had no idea what to do. I'm like, what do I say? Like, yeah, okay. And a lot of them thought I was based in America, because it was polished and very much like a Michael Bay film, because I kind of like his films. Don't judge me. And so a lot of people thought I was American. So I went over and I got signed to a manager right away, and I got film deals. I got a film writing deal with 20th Century Fox. I was writing out there. Never written a script before. Now I'm going to tell them that, but I learned the hard way. Read the book called Save the Cat a million times. But you learn the hard way, and I learned how to write for studios and for Paramount, and I was getting paid for writing. I was like, get paid for doing this? I was going to do it for free on spec. So yeah, well, luckily my manager's like, no. Everyone's saying you've got to do what Gareth Edwards did. Go and make a down and dirty guerrilla movie. And I was trying to pick something that I could do myself, that I could potentially finance myself. And I went back with Kronos, because Kronos is option. For those who don't know what option is when a studio pays you money to take the rights to your film and they'll develop it for a year. It was with a company called Benderspink. And they emailed us and said, hey, listen, your options ran out. We'd like to renegotiate your option. I'm like, well, great, I could take your money, but what are you going to do with it? I would just put it through development. I'm like, tell you what, I'm going to say no. I'm going to take the rights back. I'm not going to make the movie you obviously paid me to make, because that's illegal. But I'm going to go back to what made the movie good, which was a documentary. And that's what became The Beyond. I wish Nerdeo was around when I was doing my short films, or even when I started doing The Beyond. I really wish that there was platforms like this. And I think it's important to have platforms like Nerdeo, because like, I'm crazy, I would manage everyone, but I wouldn't do it again. And I wouldn't advise you to do it, because you want to focus on doing your task, which is directing, creative, making those decisions. And you kind of need a platform like Nerdeo that help source those artists, help manage it a bit, and also you kind of want to cherry pick your artists. You don't want to just grab the artist that you're able to get access to, and then, I'm kind of stuck with them because I can't be asked to find another bunch of artists. At least with Nerdeo, you kind of got this. It's kind of like an agency. I kind of see it like a virtual agency.
It's a bit like cutting out the middleman. So
Yeah.
you go and you just you tag. You go like, I want a nuke artist. I want somebody who's effects, and you just search. You have your database. You can search through your.
It's a VFX producer's like dream tool.
This is Caroline Pierce for Nerdeo TV, and see you again next episode.
That's good. That was really cool.